இந்திய தர நிர்ணய நிறுவனம் என்பது இந்திய அரசின் நுகர்வோர் விவகாரங்கள், உணவு மற்றும் பொது விநியோக அமைச்சகத்தின் கீழ் செயல்படும் ஒரு சட்டப்பூர்வ அமைப்பாகும். இந்நிறுவனம் தொழில்துறையின் நலனுக்காகவும் நுகர்வோர் பாதுகாப்பை நோக்கமாக கொண்டும் தயாரிப்பு சான்றிதழ், ஐ.எஸ குறியீடு, மேலாண்மை அமைப்புகள் சான்றிதழ், தங்கம் மற்றும் வெள்ளி நகைகள், கலைப்பொருட்கள் மற்றும் ஆய்வக சேவைகளின் ஹால்மார்க்கிங் போன்ற பல்வேறு திட்டங்களை செயல்படுத்துகிறது. பிஐஎஸ் நாட்டிற்கு சேவை செய்வதில் 76 ஆண்டுகள் நிறைவு செய்கிறது. 6 ஜனவரி 24 அன்று 77வது ஆண்டில் அடியெடுத்து வைக்கிறது. 77வது பிஐஎஸ் நிறுவன தினம் 2024 நிகழ்ச்சியின் முக்கிய விழா 5 ஜனவரி 24 வெள்ளிக்கிழமை காலை 10 மணிக்கு சென்னை சவேரா ஓட்டலில் நடைபெற்றது. பிஐஎஸ் சென்னை கிளை அலுவலகத்தின் இயக்குனர் மற்றும் தலைவர் விஞ்ஞானி திருமதி ஜி. பவானி வரவேற்றார். பிஐஎஸ் நிறுவன தினத்தை முன்னிட்டு 1 ஜனவரி 2024 முதல் பிஐஎஸ் நிறுவனத்தால் பல்வேறு நிகழ்ச்சிகள் நடத்தப்பட்டு வருவதாகவும் 2-4 ஜனவரி 2024 அன்று 16 அரசு பள்ளிகளில் ஒரு நாள் நிகழ்ச்சிகள் நடத்தப்பட்டதாகவும், இதில் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் கிளப் மாணவர்களுக்கு ஸ்லோகன் எழுதுதல், சுவரொட்டி தயாரித்தல், பேச்சு போட்டிகள் போன்ற பல்வேறு போட்டிகள் நடத்தப்பட்டதாகவும் அவர் தனது உரையின் போது தெரிவித்தார். எனவே மாணவ மாணவிகள் ஆர்வமுடன் போட்டிகளில் பங்கேற்று போட்டிகளில் வெற்றி பெற்றவர்களுக்கு பரிசுகள் வழங்கப்பட்டன. இப்பள்ளிகளுக்கு ரூபாய் 25,000 மதிப்புள்ள இலவச விளையாட்டு உபகரணங்கள் வழங்கப்பட்டன. மேலும் 2024 ஜனவரி 1 முதல் 4 தேதிகளில் 15 தொழிற்சாலைகளில் தர இணைப்பு நிகழ்ச்சிகள் நடத்தப்பட்டன என்றும் அவர் கூறினார். பிஐஎஸ் விஞ்ஞானியும் தென் மண்டல துணை தலைமை இயக்குநருமான திரு யூஎஸ்பி யாதவ் திட்ட நோக்கங்களை வழங்கினார். 1947 முதல் பிஐஎஸ் நீண்ட தூரம் வந்துள்ளதாகவும், தொழில் கூட்டாளிகளின் ஆதரவு இல்லாமல் இந்த சாதனைகள் சாத்தியமில்லை என்றும் அவர் கூறினார். இன்று பிஐஎஸ் 22,000க்கும் மேற்பட்ட தர நிலைகளை உருவாக்கியுள்ளது என்றும், பிஐஎஸ்ஸின் அனைத்து தர சான்றிதழ் திட்டங்களும் தொழில்துறைக்கு பெரிய அளவில் பங்களித்து உள்ளன என்றும் அவர் கூறினார். தரப்படுத்துதல் சான்றிதழ் நடவடிக்கைகளில் கல்வியாளர்கள் பங்கேற்பது பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சிக்கு உதவும் என்றும் அவர் கூறினார். அண்ணா நிர்வாக பணியாளர் கல்லூரியின் தலைமை இயக்குனரும் கூடுதல் தலைமை செயலாளருமான விக்ரம் கபூர் ஐ.எஸ் சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக கலந்து கொண்டார். தனது தொடக்க உரையின் போது 70 ஆண்டுகளை நிறைவு செய்து நாட்டுக்கு ஆற்றிய சேவையின் 77வது ஆண்டை எட்டியதற்காக பிஐஎஸ்ஸை பாராட்டினார். தரத்தில் முக்கியத்துவத்தை வலியுறுத்திய அவர், அவரது காலத்தில் தேயிலை தொழிலை அது எவ்வாறு பாதித்தது என்பதற்கான எடுத்துக்காட்டுகளை மேற்கோள் காட்டினார். அரசு பள்ளிகள் மற்றும் கிராம ஊராட்சிகளுக்கான தர மேம்பாட்டு நடவடிக்கைகள், தர உணர்திறன் திட்டங்கள் போன்றவற்றிற்காக பிஐஎஸ்ஸை அவர் பாராட்டினார். அனைத்து மாநிலங்களிலும் மாவட்ட அளவிலும் பிஐஎஸ் இருக்கும் என்றும் அவர் கூறினார். இன்றைய விருது பெற்ற அனைவருக்கும் தனது வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்து தனது உரையை நிறைவு செய்தார். விஞ்ஞானி டி. ஜீவானந்தம் பல ஆண்டுகளாக பிஐஎஸ்ஸின் தர மேம்பாட்டு நடவடிக்கைகளின் பரிணாம வளர்ச்சி குறித்து விளக்கமளித்தார். இதைத் தொடர்ந்து விருது வழங்கும் விழா நடைபெற்றது. அகில இந்திய அளவில் முதல் உரிமம் பெற்றவர்கள் 64 தொழிற்சாலை மற்றும் சந்தையில் எடுக்கப்பட்ட மாதிரிகளை மதிப்பீடு செய்வதன் மூலம் 3 வருட காலப்பகுதியில் மிகவும் சிறப்பாக செயல்பட்டு வரும் உரிமதாரர்கள் பிஐஎஸ்ஸின் நிறுவன தின தேசிய மற்றும் பிராந்திய வினாடி வினா போட்டிகளில் பரிசுகளை வென்ற 43 மாணவர்கள் ஆகியோருக்கு விருதுகள் வழங்கப்பட்டன. தூர்தர்ஷன் பொதிகை செய்திகளின் மூலம் பிஐஎஸ் விழிப்புணர்வு செய்திகளை மக்களிடம் கொண்டு செல்வதில் முக்கிய பங்கு வகித்த தூர்தர்ஷன் பொதிகையின் இயக்குனரும் பிராந்திய செய்தி பிரிவின் தலைவருமான திரு குருபாபு பலராமனுக்கு அமானக் வீர் விருது மற்றும் பிஐஎஸ் நினைவு பரிசுகள் வழங்கப்பட்டன. தொடர்ந்து பள்ளி கல்லூரி மாணவ மாணவரின் பாட்டு, நடனம், ஸ்கிட், மைம் உள்ளிட்ட கலை நிகழ்ச்சிகள் நடந்தன.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a journey back to twilight years of British rule in India. Faced with the monumental challenge of building up our industrial infrastructure, it was the visionary institution of engineers that laid the foundation. They crafted the first draft of constitution for an institution dedicated to the formulation of national standards. This pivotal moment led to the issuance of a memorandum by Department of Industries and Supplies on 3rd September 1946, officially announcing the establishment of an organization that would soon become integral to our nation's progress, the Indian Standards Institution. It's worth noting that Indian Standards Institution officially came into being on 6th January 1947, marking the beginning of a remarkable journey. Today, as we stand on the shoulders of this rich history, we celebrate not just the 77th Foundation Day, but also the enduring legacy of commitment to quality, innovation, and progress. Let's reflect on this remarkable journey as we continue our pursuit to excel together. Now, I request Scientist G and Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Shri USP Yadav Sir, to kindly welcome our respected Chief Guest, Shri Vikram Kapoor I.A.S. Sir, by presenting a bouquet and a shawl as a token of respect. The ceremonial lamp on the auspicious 77th Village Foundation Day, let us remember, a single flame holds the power to light countless others. Just as a unified commitment to standards illuminates the path towards a brighter, shared future. With these words, I would request the dignitaries on the dais to come forward to light the ceremonial lamp as we inaugurate the 77th Village Foundation Day. Request Scientist E, Director and Head, Chennai Branch Office, Srimati G. Bhavani Madam to present the welcome address, please.
அவனன்றி ஓர் அணுவும் அசையாது. Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Shri Vikram Kapoor I.A.S. Sir, Additional Chief Secretary, Director General of Anna Administrative Staff College, our beloved Deputy Director General, Shri USP Yadav Sir, my really adorable audience comprising, let me start from the youngest, the winners of the regional level and national level quiz competition, which was an online quiz competition, winners of the All India First license, All India First license that was ever granted to a company, winners of the industries who have won that All India First license, and Manak Veer Awards we are giving, winners of the Manak Veer Awards, and to all the licensees whom we are awarding today a very special award for their extraordinary performance, exemplary performance in the last 3 years. How these people have been identified, that will be told by my colleague here. And on behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards, a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for coming all the way. I think many students have come from far off places, Pondicherry, this side, and other places like Avadi, and so with this side, Thiruvallur also many people, Perambur, and here also are licensees from far and wide. Thank you so much. Annual Foundation Day has become very special for us. We started working for this as early as November. we started talking about what all we should be doing, and to conduct a quiz competition that to 2 rounds is just not ordinary thing, and that too at an all India level. And we had discussed about this, and many new other things came. We have done a lot of activities related to this annual foundation day. Sir, most of our large scale companies have participated in the Quality Connect program. We are really thankful to them at this juncture, because this is an effort which was started in the year 2022 as part of the World Standards Day, and after that we did it for the annual Foundation Day 2023 last year, and then subsequently for the World Consumer Rights Day, and then for the last 2023 World Standards Day. And this time, every time it was the students, college students who would be doing it. It was youth to youth connect and youth to household. But this year, we wanted the licensees, our own licensees, to do this this Quality Connect in their premises, to their families, to their employees, and the result was really very good. That is one attitude. Thank you very much who have taken part in this. And next was we had laid a lot of information boards, and that too we were very particular that it should be on the main road. Many of the licensees have come forward for this. Apart from this, our best an activity which we are very fond of is the Standards Club activity. We had conducted day-long activity in about 14 schools, wherein a lot of competitions like poster making, then the slogan writing competition and speech competition was held. And in those colleges, many of our large-scale industries had sponsored a sports kit worth 25,000, and that is something we started. All this annual Foundation Day is very, very special for us, and many new things, new initiatives have been taken. And with all these planning going on, I had actually wanted to talk to our chief guest about the activities which were going on early. So I had met him last month, and I had requested him that this is a special event. Sir, thank you so much, sir. It was an immediate consent from you, sir. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, because this special program, we would be very, we are really happy to have your presence here, sir. And apart from this, my colleagues have been working for this for long time, and what to do, what exactly to be told, because we have the students, we have to have the culturals also. We have our students from the standards clubs, from the colleges performing for us, and there also we have never faced any hazels anywhere. It was just a mail which we had to do, and we had very good response from the people, and this response is what we feel is our foundation, our BIS existence is very, very special for them. So in fact, one of the manufacturers had told that you will have, we just told there's an offer of this sponsoring, there's no compulsion, you can do it. He said, BIS doesn't ask us anything at all. So this is something you're asking, we would be very happy to do that. So that was the thing, because we told them there's no compulsion for you to do this. The sponsoring Quality Connect, it is just if you wish to, you can do, but the response was tremendous. Thank you. That shows that how much of importance you have in your heart for BIS, and please continue doing it. And with all this, I welcome you again for this program, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting events, interesting awards to be, people winning and you witnessing it. And we are also looking forward eagerly to see the program go through and the cultural performances also. Thank you. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now I would like to invite Scientist G and Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Bureau of Indian Standards, Shri USP Yadav sir, a distinguished figure renowned for his expertise in the management system certification, for providing a comprehensive overview of the program objectives.
Respected Chief Guest, Sri Vikram Kapoor, I.எஸ, Additional Chief Secretary, Director General of Anna Institute of Administrative Staff College Institute. My colleague Bhavani, partners from industry, dear students, parents, teachers, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. Anayarikum Badakam. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in our 77 Foundation Day. We started our journey before the dawn of independent India, 6th January 1947. And we have come to a long way. And this journey would not have been possible without the active support of the industry partners. We started a very humble journey by formulating the national standards. Before the establishment of Indian standard institutions, our industry used to follow British standards, mostly. And many places there were no standards even, some raw type of standards. Then need was felt that since our technological development, the cultural behaviors, climate, environment is different from the British. We need to have our own standards. So that was the objective. And objective was to take the quality and standard of the products and services being sold or purchased in this country to the pinnacle, and to make India a world leader in the field of quality and standards. We started our humble journey by making first standard for national flag, that is I.எஸ 1. That was the first Indian standard. And now we have reached where we have made more than 22,000 standards. We started our certification journey in 1956, and now we have more than 40,000 units under our certification ambit, and about more than 1.5 lakhs jewelers under the hallmarking scheme. In fact, hallmarking certification is the largest certification scheme in the world, and it is very successfully running. The failure or purity shortage of hallmarking has been reduced drastically, and the consumers are getting value for their money. In the field of standards also, starting from the national flag, we started making the standards for the different industrial products, the guidelines, the code of practices, the test methods, the basic standards like rounding of values, threads, limits, fits, engineering drawing, many standards. Then the world shifted from product to the system. We also started our journey for making standards for the systems in way back in 1984. And we have a plethora of management system standards formulated by BIS. And we actively participate. We are the founder member of ISO. When ISO was formed, Indian standard institutions became a part of it, and it was a founder member. And we actively participate in international standardization activity in ISO, IEC, ITU, and many of the ISO committees, IEC committees are being, the secretariat is being handled by BIS. So we are very active in international standardization fora also, and that is very important because after WTO regime, the non-tariff barrier or technical barrier to trade or technical regulations are playing very important role in national and international trades. So it is high time that all our industry friends, academia friends should take active parts in international standardization activity so that the standards which becomes the part of technical regulations in most of the countries are not tilted against us. We should safeguard our interest in those forums while making the standards. This is very important for the economic growth of our country. I will not take much of time. We have started many activities, as Bhavani has told. Standard clubs, we are reaching about 10,000 standard clubs throughout India. We have done the awareness regarding standards and quality to almost all district officials in India. Now we have taken up the awareness level for the Gram Panchayat Pradhans and presidents and secretaries, and almost 50% has been covered, and we wish to complete it by March 2024, that no panchayat is left uncovered which is not given awareness about the standards or the standards being used or can be used for different government schemes like Jal Jeevan, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, etc. So, and we have turned totally digital. All the activities are now online. We have become almost paperless office. So many developments we have done. We have started reaching out to the people, and we want more and more participation from the industry, from the consumer, from the academia, to make the standards of our country richer. And let us commit to ourselves today on this auspicious day that we will not give anything which is not of quality, and will not accept anything which is not of quality. So that way the quality level of our country will automatically improve and enhance. Thank you so much for coming in a large number. Once again, I welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the insightful program objectives with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and honor that I introduce our distinguished chief guest for today's event, Shri Vikram Kapoor sir, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Director General, Administrative Staff College. Vikram Kapoor sir, an accomplished IAS officer, has exemplified outstanding leadership throughout his diverse and impactful career. Serving as a district collector in Dindigul from January 1997 to 1998, under sir's leadership, the district achieved the highest rankings among the 30 districts in the state, excelling across various performance parameters. From directing horticulture department to heading the tea board, Sir showcased his keen strategic thinking and introduced innovative initiatives that provided extensive support to the farmers. Sir played a vital role in establishing women self-help groups and agriculture business centers for unemployed youth. Sir introduced significant scientific practices in tea cultivation and manufacturing through collaboration with research institutions and extension agencies contributing to sustainable development. As a managing director of Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board, he oversaw the provision of essential services to over 10 million people. Later, as chairman and managing director of Tangent Co., Sir led the state power utility, ensuring a robust energy infrastructure. His notable achievements include streamlining departments, organizing international expos, and implementing groundbreaking programs. Currently, he is serving as a director at Anna Administrative Staff College. Continues to contribute to public service by imparting knowledge and skills to government employees and civil service aspirants, further solidifying his legacy as a distinguished public servant. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Shri Vikram Kapoor Sir IAS to deliver the inaugural address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Respected Shri USP Yadav ji, Srimati Bhavani, members of the industry, my dear young friends from various schools, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my compliments to BIS on the celebration of its 77th Foundation Day. I personally was not aware that this organization even precedes our independence, and it's really very heartening to see that the organization continues to serve the country for nearly 77 years. And I mean, to be very frank, not many of us, even when we were growing up, as school students in college, we were not very much aware of the organization or the various standards set by it. And in fact, those in my generation who would recall that during those days when the ISI certification, became a household word, I think it started more with electrical appliances, and there were a series of some TV advertisements. Those days we didn't have so much of social media, we didn't have so many advertisements, but whatever came, it kind of brought home the message to consumers that if you want to buy safe electrical products, you must go for an ISI certified products. And that's when we first came to know of something like the ISI. And then ISI became like a buzzword, a mark of quality, something you could rely upon, a sort of a brand for consumers. And over the years I have been noticing the journey of this wonderful organization. Before me, the speaker, while introducing me, mentioned about my work. I worked for about 5 years in the tea sector. It is one of the most fulfilling periods in my career. For 5 years, I was in the hilly areas of South India. I headed the regional office under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And this organization used to support the tea industry, not just the manufacturers or the exporters, but also farmers, and all kind of farmers, right from small growers to big estates. And it was during that time that I had the opportunity to come in touch with BIS, because the tea industry was facing a huge crisis. This was around nearly 20-25 years ago, and many of you may not even be aware that the tea industry is a very cyclical industry and it has its ups and downs. And when I joined the organization, the tea industry, which was at one point of time, India was the biggest producer and exporter of teas, had really gone into a slump. And tea manufacturers in Sri Lanka, Kenya, even China, they were all overtaking India. And we were losing markets, prices were falling. The industry was in a very, very bad shape. And the worst affected were small farmers, small growers, whose price for the leaf that they used to supply to tea factories had gone to rock bottom. They could not even, meet their cost of cultivation. And there was a huge agitation across the country, particularly in South India, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, where most of the tea plantations are. And nobody knew, why this crisis was happening. I mean, in those days, a kilo of tea had even been fetching 18 rupees, 20 rupees a kilo. And it fell down to 3 rupees, 5 rupees. And their cost of plucking, etc., agriculture was about 8 rupees or so. So they could not even meet the cost. There was a lot of agitation, violence. And that was the time, when I joined the organization, quickly, tried to take stock. And very soon I realized that the problem facing the industry, the biggest problem, biggest challenge was of quality. That Indian tea was not actually meeting the expectations of consumers, both within the country and abroad. And therefore, because of our lack of adherence to quality, both in the field and in the factory, we were losing markets and therefore prices were falling. It was a big challenge to make the industry realize, and more important, the farmer to realize. I mean, they were saying till yesterday I was giving the same leaf, I was getting 18 rupees. How is it I'm getting now 3 rupees, 4 rupees? Industry was also not able to understand, the manufacturers, exporters, and other traders. So we had to work, with experts, and we quickly realized that we need to put in place, a quality program. And so I initiated this quality upgradation program. We call it QUP, where we targeted every sector of the value chain, right from the grower up to the trader, manufacturer, everybody. So how to set certain standards. And this is where I got in touch with the BIS. In fact, I think we had the Bangalore office who serviced us. You have an office in Bangalore, and they gave wonderful support. They came out with standards which they had already set, and they brought in those IS standards. I think first it was 9001, then we went in for 14001. Then a lot of exporters were saying that we need to export our teas, and the European market is asking for the HACCP kind of certification, HACCP, and therefore we started working with them. Some of them even went into organic certification also, some bold ones. But what happened was, over a period of 4 or 5 years, we worked closely, the BIS, along with the industry, our farmers, our traders, exporters, and there was a sea change in the quality of the teas that were produced, particularly in South India, as a result of which the prices started rising. And although even after that prices have fallen, risen, it's a cyclic market, but what has really come to, everybody has understood is that quality pays. You make good quality teas, you will get your price. So that mindset, that change has happened in the tea industry. And I'm very proud to say, that even when I go back sometimes to the Nilgiris and talk to people, my old colleagues, they still remember, that this kind of a transformation that happened, it was a joint effort by everyone. It's possible. If you can do it in one industry, one sector, it is possible in every industry. So that is a message I want to give, that there is no rocket science to it. This is a basic agriculture, basic manufacturing, basic science. You just stick to those, but have that discipline. So the discipline is what I think we as Indians need to, work on. I think it was mentioned that, I think Mr. Yadav was telling me that when this whole thing started in '86, then I think the then Prime Minister had visited Japan, and he had tried to understand how is it that the Japanese make such, good quality products and all. And he came to know that they had certain standards which the industry adopts. There is no compulsion or anything from government, but it's a voluntary kind of an adoption of certain standards. So he wanted to bring it, and therefore this journey started, where these standards were set up, and the industry in various sectors has adopted. And as you can see, there are various sectors today where we have some very strong quality certification programs running. Yadavji mentioned about the hallmarking scheme. I think this is one of the biggest success stories of BIS. I mean, I could have never imagined. I didn't know that there were more than 1.5 lakh, jewelry manufacturers, and how to monitor them, do surveillance, test their products, give them, renewal of certification is something mind-boggling. And I know BIS is not a huge organization with so much of manpower, and how you are able to still manage to monitor this huge industry. See, less than 2,000 people and 1.5 lakh manufacturers or retailers of this one product. And like this, I'm told there are, hundreds of products, which have now been brought under certification. And a small organization like BIS, if it is able to service such a wide range of products and industrial sectors, it's all, I think, very creditable. We are really proud of the BIS, Yadavji, Vaniji. I think you all, your colleagues, have to take a pat on the back for that. And at the same time, I'm aware that you are working with the state governments, giving the sensitization to our officials. You mentioned that you want to sensitize right down to panchayat level, public representatives, officials. And I'm very happy that the Anna Administrative Staff College has been partnering with the BIS in doing these programs. Of course, lots needs to be done, but I just wanted to mention, on this occasion, we work for the state government, and I'm not talking only about this state, but across India. When I talk about states, I can tell you that there is very limited, I would say, involvement of states in this whole, quality certification program, because BIS has got limited manpower. So it is very important for BIS to partner with states, and states have extensive machinery right down to the grassroots level, districts, blocks, panchayats and all. And we have local bodies. You have to involve the state governments and our Panchayati Raj institutions in this whole thing. Otherwise, it's very difficult for one organization with limited manpower to monitor. That's one. For that, I quickly went through, the various policy notes, and I did some my own research. Most state governments don't have even a department of consumer protection. It's by name it is called consumer protection, food, cooperation, all that. The way the central ministry is there. States also have formulated departments. But if you go down into the departments, most of these departments handle civil supplies, which is essentially public distribution system. Your ration shops, distribution of food products and all. So 99% of their attention is only going towards ensuring that people get their rations in time and properly and all. But to look at consumer protection, we have created these, the state consumer commissions, district consumer redressal forums, national level you have one. But these are adjudicatory, judicial bodies. There is no organization at the state levels across the country. Maybe one or two states may have an initiative, but very little manpower or budgets for doing consumer protection work. So what does that mean? You need to have, at least at the district level, if not at the panchayat or block level, officials or experts who will carry forward this, this certification program. You set the standards, you are certifying it, but then somebody has to do surveillance, somebody has to create awareness, somebody has to, then monitor, take samples, get them tested, take, prosecution or whatever is possible. It's been done by the food department. We have, for example, the food safety department. So those standards which are set for food standards, they are being done. To that extent, some bit of it. But consumers today have huge expectations from governments, that even things like, let's say, your civic services. I've been a municipal commissioner for more than 3 years in Chennai. We used to bring in certain standards on roads, in drains, in our various civic services. But from the consumer side, I always used to realize that not many consumers know about these standards. It's only known to us as officials. If I fail to carry out my duty, there's nothing consumer can do. So as consumers of civic services, it is important for us to educate the consumers and in simple language. I mean, nobody can read these manuals and try to make sense out of these technical. You mentioned about my work in Metro Water. We spend crores and crores of public money laying, water supply systems, pipes and all. But what if imagine we fail to give a proper, quality pipe? The pipe will last for a few years. After that, there will be leaks, it will burst, and consumers will be put to hardship. Again, you have to replace those pipes and all. Again, taxpayer money is wasted. But there has to be citizen oversight. And it can happen only if the consumers, they actually understand what those standards are, so that they can then point out to the officials or the contractors who are doing the work that this is not being done. I'm told that for water supply systems you have standards, but let's say roads. I know there are again standards, but how many common people know, what is a good quality road? Whether you should be milling a road, what should be a camber, how much should be the mix, what should be the temperature at which it should be done. If you do these things properly, roads will last. You go to some Western countries and all, you see roads last for 20 years. Here, if it 2 years also road lasts, we think it's a great achievement. So therefore, it's a question of quality. And believe me, again, this is no great rocket science or anything. This is all very simple engineering, simple science, which anybody can understand if we try to. But we need to create those kind of mechanisms to sensitize and educate the stakeholders. And if there is, this kind of sensitization to not just officials and public representatives, but also general public in very layman terms, then I think there will be a better chance that we can give good quality services to our people. There are lots of areas on which we can work, Yadavji, which we are happy to work with you. One area that I feel is lacking is, on the management certification. Service delivery certification. Of course, some of the departments in the state government have obtained those kind of certifications also. We are very proud to say that Tamil Nadu has been a pioneer in those. But across the board, our systems need to be properly, studied, standards set, and certification given. We should all be proud that, my department is having this kind of a certification, and I am ensuring that that level of service delivery is done. So it's very important that all the government departments are systematically covered in these management certification systems, and we'll be happy if BIS can work with us together and we can create those standards. We can sensitize officials, get them to apply for it, and then do some kind of surveillance. So from my point of view, I think there is a lot to be done, and today when the country is has celebrated 75 years, and we are looking for the next 25 years to become global leaders and become, a developed country. I think it's very important that we now take this leap of faith to embrace quality systems. I'm happy that today we are in the midst of people who have done that already. You represent I would say the finest, people, the representatives of industry and of academia, and you should be inspiring others to do that. But from the side of both the BIS and the state government, there is lots that we can do to, kind of celebrate such kind of awardees. And I'm happy that there are, children here today who have won awards. I think they are the future. In the next 25 years, they will be sitting on this side and they will be driving the agenda of the country. So it's very nice that BIS has kind of, recognized them, sensitized them through these quizzes and other programs. And I'm happy that when they, become industry leaders or government leaders, they will carry forward this agenda. So I'm very clear, if India is to become a developed country by 2047, there is a huge role for the BIS to play in sensitizing and to create this awareness on quality standards. With these words, I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity, and I wish all the awardees all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's shine a spotlight on a distinguished achievement, the All India First License Award by Bureau of Indian Standards. This prestigious recognition reflects an unwavering commitment to excellence and a pioneering spirit in upholding quality and setting a benchmark. Receiving All India First BAS license is not an easy thing, as there is a lot of work involved from both the BAS end and the manufacturer end also. So, as Jeevanandam sir has told, BAS license is granted based on the conformity of Indian standards for all the requirements. But in some case of All India First application, identification of the laboratory to do the complete testing is a major step. And in cases if laboratory is not available, the manufacturer has to equip complete testing facilities in its location. And from BIS end, we need to prepare a product manual, which is a guidance document for other manufacturers on ease of getting license. And then finalization of a test frequency, which the manufacturer should follow after the grant of license, and a marking fee to be calculated. In addition, the All India First application undergoes a lot of scrutiny from the BO level, regional office level, and also in the headquarters. So kudos to the manufacturer who are receiving this award. And the first in the list is Butterfly Gandhimari Appliance Limited. All India First license is granted to them for the product portable water bottles made of copper, stainless steel, and aluminum as per IS 17803 2022. There is an interesting story behind this. Every month, actually, CNBO conducts a Manak Manthan, a program with the stakeholders on recently formulated standards. So, accordingly, Manak Manthan for this particular product was conducted on November 2022, during which a representative from Butterfly they have expressed their interest on getting their license, and today they are receiving this All India First License Award. So, kudos to the manufacturer and his attitude, he has kept his word. And now many more manufacturers will follow them in getting the BIS license, as this product has been bought under the mandatory certification of BIS by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Let's applaud Butterfly Gandhimari Appliance Limited for this significant commendable achievement in upholding quality standards for portable bottles. I request representatives from Butterfly Gandhimari Appliance Limited to join us on the stage to receive the well-deserved All India First license, please. Ladies and gentlemen, in celebration of the BIS 77th Foundation Day, BIS has hosted the Science and Standards multi-level online quiz competition on the GOV platform digitally throughout the December 2023. The regional
Thank you.